dapat talaga pakita na walang kinikilingan.
Kailangan mo talaga dyan ng solo investigation.
Hindi pa nag-showcase, karam may showcase din tayo.
May burden of evidence na kailangan pang ilabas, di ba?
Anong gagawin ngayon?
Huwag proteksyonan yung mga kasama.
Sumurrender ka na.
Lahat yan, galit sa akin. Pero magdodonate tayo ng sandwich. Yung kay Amalos Torture. Balat kayo pala.
I truly believe it is a waste of time sa the Filipino people.
Tapos na ang SONA. So, ano na? Dating House Speaker Martin Romualdez, makakasuhan ba talaga? Mapapasama ba siya sa mga napakulong ng pinsan niya? Mga senador na nag-iingay sa internet, may splice ba? O magsi-ceasefire muna? Pax Silica, dudumi ba ang tubig? Makakaapekto ba sa paliligo ng mga tao? Baka silika papaya ang gusto nyo. At ang taga-bangko nag-tell all na sa Senado. Sa latest impeachment trial ni VP Sara, anong masasabi mo? Huwag na mag-deny, don't tell a lie. Alam namin, gusto mong isali ang opinion mo.
Live from the BNC Studio, narito ang Politiko Talks. At narito ang ating mga makakatok. Veteran journalist fact-checker Marichu Villanueva. Ang kagawad na walang patawad magkomento, Falcis. Partido Demokratiko Pilipino Executive Vice President, Atty. Bondo. With our special guest, DSWD Secretary Rex Gatchalian.
Ano sabi mo?
Tongue twister kasi talaga. Rex is fine.
Okay. After the SONA ni Pangulong Marcos, ano ang magiging basic ang activity ng DSWD?
Well, two things. Yung uplift assistance.
Okay.
We're still, baka nakakalimutan ng mga kababayan natin na sa gitna pa rin tayo ng energy emergency. And every time nagkakagulo sa Middle East, tataas ang presyo ng bilihin. So we have to protect the vulnerable. Kasi if we don't do that, the studies show that 1.2 million Filipinos will go down deeper into poverty. So I have to stop that. With the uplift assistance, the design will show na pag natapos to, at least we keep status quo. Hindi tayo aatras.
It's 2,000 pesos, right?
2,000 pesos per month for at least two groups. Yun yung till December.
Yes.
Yun yung low-wage earners at saka non-4-piece na poor. Now, the 4-piece poor will just get one time na 2,000 pesos. Total niyan, 7.5 million households are protected.
Ay, yung pangalawa, sir.
Expanding disaster response, di ba? The President spoke about the hubs, the spokes, and the last mile warehouse. Never has this country had that system na pre-positioned ang family food packs. 4.9 million family food packs spread across 1,000 warehouses. So bago pa may mangyari, nandun na.
Yes.
But he told me, wag tayo tumigil sa 1,000, keep on expanding. Farther and farthest ang importante.
Balik lang tayo sa uplift, sir. Parang na-estimate na 20 billion ang iaalat from July to end
55.
of this 55 billion.
Kasi 2 beses yung iba.
Yung iba, 6 na beses.
Iba, 6 mo.
So, saan ang galing yung 50 billion? Kasi may binanggit si Pangulo na yung mga nakuha, na-recover sa gross flood control project na recover ay ibabalik sa mga tao.
Well, ako, wala akong eyeball kung saan mismo nang galing. Suffice to say, pag nag-request ako, ginagasolinahan naman kami. So, saan galing sa internally programmed funds? Meron naman talaga kami. Pero syempre, kukulangin na rin yon. So, galing sa Department of Budget. So, apparently, I was told from savings.
Yeah, it's usually from savings.
Savings from where? From what agencies?
Kasi di ba remember, nung nag-energy emergency, all departments were made to cut
slash.
unnecessary
Across
costs
the board.
at least by 20%, pati kami. So ang irony sa amin, nag-remit kami ng 20%, pero binabalik sa amin mas malaki.
Yeah.
And when I say amin naman, DSWD is for the people.
Yes. Tsaka sa karanasan ko, alam ko marami talagang unfilled positions sa gobyerno.
Yeah.
Yun ang source ng
Savings,
ano.
yeah.
Savings.
Tama.
Nabanggit mo yung pangalawa, be ready for the calamities. How ready sa DSWD?
As ready as we can be.
Parang Boy Scout, ha?
Alam mo, Marichu, yung paradigm kasi binago eh. When nandiyan na department, ang marching order ng presidente, hindi ka maghanda pag nandiyan yung bagyo.
Yes.
Hindi mo papadala dahil nandiyan na siya. So tayo pre-positioned na. Like I said nga, we have a series of warehouses nationwide, 1,000. It's like a small logistics company. Meron tayong 2 automated repacking center. Dati mano-mano yun, ngayon automated. So ang production natin, 22,000 per production, 22,000 family food packs per day for each of these repacking center. So pinupuno lang namin yung bodega. Alam niyo, napapansin kasi ng tao pag may malalaking sakuna. Pero daily may sakuna, may sunog.
Yes.
May mga flash floods, may mga, minsan may nagkakaroon ng conflict areas. Hindi na babalita, pero we do provide them family food packs. Kasi ang role naman namin is to help the local government units help their constituents. Kasi marami tayong mga LGU maliit So they cannot supply food or kulang yung capacities nila.
As DSWD Secretary, kung magkakaroon ka ng sariling SONA, ano masasabi mo, sir, mga accomplishments?
Una, let's talk about social welfare. Alam ko mamaya baka tanongin nyo na uunahan ko na kayo. Ayuda, ayuda, ayuda.
Yes.
Di ba? But you have to remember, ang pangalan namin, first name namin, social welfare.
Yes.
That's exactly what we do. Walang masama.
Exactly.
Wala namang problema
Every
doon.
country, dapat ang last resort mo is your government. Whether you're rich or poor, basta may crisis kang pinagdadaanan,
Yes.
like itong energy emergency,
yes.
dapat ang protection galing sa
The
gobyerno.
government is for the poor.
So, for the poor.
Totoo
So,
yan.
the social welfare side of it, talagang nandyan yan. Not just the poor, anybody who's in crisis.
Middle class.
Of course.
Middle class, anybody who's in crisis.
And
So,
development aspect.
The development aspect,
I'm
that's
just saying
the
that
second part.
many people have been quoted as saying that the government is primarily for the poor.
Oh, yes.
It's a contested idea, pero you get what I mean.
Primarily, tama.
Yes, primarily.
Development, we've fixed systems in the department, automated things. For instance, pag kukuha ka ng mga travel permits mo for minors, they're now fully automated. Wala nang
Online
mano-mano. Online na.
Actually.
Pangalawa, 4Ps, which is people think it's welfare, but it's really development. It's investing in human capital. For 100 billion ang ginagastos natin dyan
At
every year.
in-extend pa ni Pangulong
But what
Marcos
we've done is strengthen the systems.
Yung
Making sure na
4Ps.
yun pwedeng mag-exit, ine-exit na natin.
7 years, di ba?
No, not even.
Mga
Ngayon,
graduate.
In-extend niya, di ba?
Nilift niya in 7 years.
Okay.
Ang basihan dapat, your well-being.
Okay.
In the department, we talk about case management. Ang heart and soul ng DSWD, ng social worker, case management. Pero for the longest time, arbitrary Parang 7 years, aalisin ka. Or minsan, ang tagal na, nandun ka pa. So the marching order is economic well-being, social advocacy. We case manage. Pag pwede ka na i-exit, i-exit ka. I'll give you numbers lang. Prior to 2022, 50,000 lang ang napa-exit sa buong programa. Graduate, 50,000 out of 4.4 million in 18 years.
Naku, less than 1%.
But since 2022, because of proper case management, we've already graduated 1.6 million
Oh,
households.
congratulations.
Out of the
20
program.
plus percent.
Households yun. Households, no?
So meaning, kasi dati, imagine ang isang social worker namin will have to case manage 800 households. Paano mo tatapusin yun?
Yeah.
So halos hindi nagagawa na maayos.
Ngayon?
So ngayon, 1:200. For every one social worker or case manager, 200 na lang.
Divided
We've
by 4.
also automated it. Meaning, dati nakakatawa mano-mano. Literally.
Magtatanggal.
Oo.
Mano-mano.
So pag in-encode mo, minsan nagkamali lang yung grading system kasi yan yung
Yes,
case management
yes,
na yan. Minsan may na-exit ng hindi dapat na-exit. Meron naman yung dapat na ma-exit, hindi na-exit. Ang point ko doon, the country's main anti-poverty program is the 4Ps. Ang sabi sa akin ng Pangulo, hindi pwede yung isa-scrap mo, palakasin mo. Di ba we have this bad habit kasi...
Batas yan.
Yeah, but we have this bad habit kasi every new administration, ang tingin nila sa dati, I have to form my own legacy.
Yeah.
So ang ginagawa nila, either pinahihina, wino-water down. Ito
ayaw ko
baliktad.
yan.
Pinalakas, ginawang mas efficient, para yung ginugugol natin dyan, napupunta sa tama.
Tsaka institutionalized.
Third, walang gutong food stamps and
Yeah.
the walang gutong soup kitchen.
Amen.
This is the first time that this country is actually, meron siyang targeted anti-hunger program this size.
Maganda yan.
750,000.
Dapat pinagyabang sa SONA yan.
Last year, kwento niya, pero this year kasi he was more focused, I believe, in the more economic side of it. Diba? He
Yeah.
started talking about how to protect the poor using uplift assistance, how to expand and make lives easier para sa ating mga middle class or everybody else. Kaya pinagkwentuhan nga yung lalagpas yung income, tinaasan yung exemption on income tax. Yung pag-alis, kami rin makikinabang ito, yung pag-alis ng
Systems
income
loss.
tax, no?
Ng income tax.
on micro, small, medium enterprises.
yes.
Okay.
You
Minimum
have to remember
corporate
kami micro eh.
income tax.
Yeah.
Yun din,
One of our
MCIT.
program na pinalalakas namin, talking about my own SONA, kung meron ako, is the Sustainable Livelihood Program.
Oh, okay.
Matagal na yan, pero ngayon kinakarir namin. Attorney Jess, nakita mo nga, sabi mo yung mga may alimango, mga ganyan. These are micro enterprises.
Yung pinupuntahan nyo.
Na pinopondohan natin because they're development.
Okay.
Programa para maiahon sila mula sa kahirapan, pero they're still being taxed. So ngayon wala na.
Sec, I like your SONA. Are you running?
No.
Wait,
Sabi lang, kung may sarili akong
I hate to
social
cut you guys.
welfare
I
SONA.
hate to cut you guys.
Hindi, mabilis lang, bago tayo mag-move on. Saan yung locations ng walang gutom kitchens and
maganda
how many
yan.
more to open? Ano yung target? Kasi nakwento mo off-cam.
Walang gutom kitchen na gusto ng ating Pangulo, 12. We already have 3. Nasa Pasay, it's an old Pogo facility that we turned into a soup
Wow.
kitchen and a
Good, oh.
shelter for street dwellers. Pangalawa, nasa pier area ng Cebu. Pangatlo, nasa may cemetery or market area ng Zamboanga City.
Cemetery.
Okay.
Oh, kasi normally may communities around cemetery and normally these communities are poor communities. Ang tanging hanap buhay nila yung mga industriya sa loob ng sementeryo.
Okay.
Diba?
Pag-uusapan natin sa
Ang
politaktakan,
galing!
sir.
Ang galing! 10 out of 10!
Yeah, teka muna, before we go to our headline for the week, batiin muna natin si Attorney Jimmy.
Of course!
Bakit naman ako
Ang ating
na-challenge dyan?
Vice
Last week
President!
absent ka, we welcome you back as
Thank you,
Executive
thank you.
Vice President of PDP Laban.
Congratulations.
Glad to serve.
Okay.
Baka from Executive Vice President to Real Vice President.
Oy,
No,
wow.
sabi mo, kakatok muna sa Senate.
Ay,
Okay.
Ayoko na matalo ulit.
Let's go to our headline for the week.
Headline number 1, mga taga-bangko nag-tell-all sa Senado. Inumpisahan na nga ngayong linggo ang Article 1 of Impeachment at sa witness ng prosekusyon, walang tanong ang depensa. Na-manage ba ang expectation sa mga bank managers? Ang kanilang mga salaysay, patok o putok?
Muna kay Secret to. Ito po, sir, yung patok o putok. Pag patok, you agree. Putok, you don't disagree. At pwede naman middle ground din naman. So, your comment on that first headline of the week,
Na
sir.
nag-tell all.
Oo.
Always for the truth, patok.
Opo, explain po.
Ako, I believe na this is a time where you can thresh out the details of everything. Whether it's, whether you're looking, either side, meaning left or right side, ang importante marinig natin. So lahat ng detalye dapat nate-thresh out publicly. That's what the court is for. I believe, personally, that's what the impeachment is for. Bawat detalye, bawat kwento, dapat nakalathala para ma-appreciate ng taong bayan.
Okay. Attorney Jimmy.
Para sa akin, patok yun. Dahil totoo namang nag-tell all sila. Ang tanong lang kasi, yung all ba ay may kinahantungan na ka-impeach. And of course, mag-iiba kami ng aking kaibigan ng opinion dyan. Pero para sa akin, the reason why wala na sigurong inisip yung defense na mag-cross-examine pa is because it will only give the prosecution a platform to spin non-issues. So, again, my humble opinion is wala namang napatunayan except for the slightly unusual daw na transactions.
Unusual but not suspicious.
But not suspicious.
Okay. Attorney Jess.
Well, syempre sa akin, patok, no? Because ang pinaka-particular detail doon na lumabas sa akin, nag-stand out, is yung na-confirm yung fact na may 3 to 4, if not 4, duffel bags talaga nilagay yung pera. Because that would corroborate the future testimony of Ramil Madriaga in the Senate Impeachment Court. But we've already heard that in the lower house. We've read that in his affidavit. So that's a crucial detail na tama yung sinasabi ni Madriaga na may 4 duffel bags. So it's building up. It's not necessarily yung explosive pa. It's building up to the impeachable offense na hinahanap ng aking kapatid na si Attorney Jimmy.
Pero ako, mas curious ako kay Sec Rex. Meron mga, sa DSWD, di ba, may mga ano rin kayo. Ano yung mga, have you done any unusual but not suspicious drawdowns?
May ano kami, well, you didn't finish the line. May ano kami.
Merong system.
Basta kami,
Payouts,
we try
mga
to make
ganun.
sure that everything is done above board.
Yeah, may
meaning-
limit ba yan?
Yung mga withdrawals namin, may
Yeah.
guidelines talaga, may limits rin yan. May mga signing authorities. Siyempre, admittedly, akin being the secretary, mas mataas.
Up to how much, sir?
Nakalimutan ko kasi hindi ko naman ginagamit eh.
Okay.
Kasi siyempre may absorptive...
Intelligence fund.
No. Ibig sabihin yung payouts ba ang sinasabi nyo? Yung payouts, siyempre may
May
limits
special
kung sino...
disbursing officers.
Oo. I'm a special disbursing officer.
Yes.
I'm bonded eh.
Yes.
Okay.
And I believe I have the biggest bond amount.
Wow.
Pero siyempre, binibigay mo rin yan sa kahero, then it's subject to liquidation all the time.
May COA.
Tsaka may absorptive capacity eh. Hindi rin kahit kunin ko lahat yun, ibigay ko, ipamigay.
Mahirap.
Mahirap eh.
I-absorb.
Hindi maa-absorb ng mga paymasters. There's a limit to what we can do.
And in general, Sec, no, kayo, you do checks as a general rule. Tapos yung cash, very rare. Like, could
have
you
to
tell us then, like, when do you do
Yung
cash?
payouts?
Yeah.
All our payouts are cash-based. Whether it's
You
done
see?
digitally, whether it's done manually, it's cash-based. Pero may limits nga, may controls, may systems and checks. So, halimbawa, a line director can only withdraw X amount, tapos give it to the cashier, but he has to liquidate before he can take again.
Sa land bank yan, sir, no?
Sa land bank.
Ah,
May limits
kasi
yan. May
government.
limits
Oh.
kami. Yung director namin can only take so much, pero pag hindi yun niliquidate, hindi rin siya. Kumbaga may credit line.
But
Yan.
never aabot sa 125 million
120
Ay,
in one
day.
in one transaction.
In one day.
In one day.
One signing authority.
One
Yes.
withdrawal, one signing authority.
Nangyayari sa amin.
Nangyayari sa
Kasi
yeah.
you have to remember,
Emergency.
marami kaming payouts ha.
Okay.
Every day, social welfare is cash basis. Except for the guarantee letters.
So how do you check that? Sorry, syempre ang laking amount. It's cash. How do you
Before you can
really
withdraw
ensure
naman,
that?
before you withdraw, there's a list. Meron, sino ba ang mga beneficiaryo niyan? At syempre, pagdating doon, yung list na yun, bago umabot doon yun, meron ng social case intake yun. So halimbawa, si Marichu Villanueva, may sakit siya, na-interview siya ng social worker, na meron siya kunwaring ganito, may flu siya. So hanggang dito ka lang,
So
maliit lang.
it's very different from confidential funds.
Yes,
Oh,
because
yeah.
Kasi ang dami mong
the
documentation.
pays are
Yes.
not the pays are named.
These are operating funds. They are the ones na nakikita nyo sa mga office namin na inaabot in cash.
So, minsan, may mga 50,000 at the most pa, di ba?
Ang cash namin, 10,000 per head lang ang maximum. So, medyo suspicious na sa amin pag yung beneficiary more than 10,000.
Okay.
Pag more than 10,000,
Nare-red flag yan.
guarantee letter na
Akala
yun.
ko
Guarantee
unusual.
letter na
Akala
siya.
ko
Sa amin.
unusual lang.
Kasi, di ba, parang we don't want to give so much cash naman in one go.
Yeah.
Marami lang talagang beneficiaryo. Kaya, sinabi ko yung 125, nangyayari.
But you
yun.
mentioned guarantee letters. The
Yeah,
president said, wala nang guarantee letter,
Guarantee letters namin, kami nag-i-issue, hindi ibang tao.
Okay.
It's the social worker that signs off. So,
So how is the process now? Para baka may nanonood. Sabi ni Presidente sa online, e-gov app, etc.
Yeah. Meron din
Yes,
kami.
please.
So,
Please
di ba, well, tama yan. Tamang tulong sa tamang impormasyon, yun ang battle cry namin. Huwag kayong ma-fake news. I-like at i-follow nyo ang official Facebook account ng DSWD. Simple lang. May kailangan ka, you're going through a crisis, medical o burial man yan, come to the nearest DSWD office. Just bring one ID and proof of the crisis. Promissory note ba yan? Hospital billing ba yan? Kontrata ng punerarya ba yan? Now, syempre, ang 10,000, yun ang maximum cash guidelines namin. Minsan, yung funeral na cost, mas malaki nun.
Yes.
Guarantee letter i-issue ng social worker to protect nga, para hindi naman ang daming cash naming dala rin. Yung guarantee letter, ibabayad mo na lang yun doon sa punerarya or sa hospital. These are standard hospital. Recently, we opened nga a credit line with Mercury Drug. So, instead of cash ang ibibigay namin, credit na, letter na lang, punta siya sa nearest Mercury Drug na accredit na may na kasama sa programa, may logo namin yan normally, and then they can buy the medicine they want.
Pero Sec Rex,
Galing.
how would you explain na online na nga, pero ang haba ng pila? In fact, may nagtitext pa sa akin.
Alam mo ano sad,
Oo.
Marichu?
Yeah.
Itong sa Uplift,
Oo.
gangho kami digital. Would you know that only 20% of
Yeah,
our
yeah.
poor and near poor are banked?
Financial inclusion is not yet real. It's not very real.
It's so hard to get their bank accounts or their GCash
Because
accounts.
they don't have savings at all.
One, and two, takot sila. The fear of the unknown.
Yes, yes.
So ngayon, what we're doing sa Uplift is when we pay the cash, we try to encourage them to open an account. Nandyan si GCash, nandyan si BPI, nandyan si BDO. We try to bank them. Kasi the goal nga is to bank every single Filipino para digital na. Kaya nga pumipila kasi nga, Marichu,
In the
wala mga
meantime,
bangko.
in the
But in the
meantime,
4-piece,
but in the
ATM na
meantime,
kami, hindi na sila
Pero yung
pumipila.
Department of Finance has a program for financial inclusion.
Yeah,
Have you
so
tied
do
up with
we.
them?
So do we. In fact, Bangko Sentral ang kapartner
Bangko Sentral,
namin.
okay.
In fact, si Deputy Bangko Sentral Governor, si Berna, Romualdez was in the office.
Yes.
Ang goal namin, by the time matapos tong Uplift, the entire poor sector should be banked one man lang per household. Kasi ngayon lumulutang ngayon may golden opportunity kasi we're doing the payout naman na hindi lang isang beses di ba? It's 6 times. So ang sinasabi namin sa kanila, Ito, first time manual. Pero after that, nandiyan na si GCash.
Okay.
Ngayon, meron pang bagong program yung DOF and BSP na no fiscal ID required na for opening bank accounts.
Yeah.
As long as you're in the national ID system, suffice na
PSA.
yun.
Okay.
Yung system namin na automated, nakapatong naman sa PSA.
My last question before we move on to headline number 2. May confidential intelligence funds ba po?
Meron ng DSWD, pero maliit lang siya. It's only 6 million pesos a year.
A
Oh,
year?
super
A
liit.
year.
Sa OSEC lang yun.
Is
sa Office of
it
the
necessary?
Secretary.
It's necessary. This is what we do with it. Number one, we're involved with trafficking.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Remember
Human
yung mga
trafficking.
bentahan ng yung mga nanay na binibenta yung mga anak nila?
Oh my.
That's part of our mandate to make sure that we keep tab of it. Number two, involved rin kami sa rebel returnees.
Oh, yeah,
Kami rin
before,
nag-integrate sa kanila back to
Yes,
the
yes.
community. So we need to know na yung binigay ba nating tulong, financial o livelihood, talagang napunta sa livelihood nila. That 6 million annually, doon na pupunta yun.
At least walang...
Grabe, ang dami kong nalalaman.
O, teka. At least walang Mary Grace Piatos. Let's move on to headline number 2.
Headline number 2. Facebook at X na ba ang bagong Senate Session Hall? Mula sa splice video raw ni Senator Pia Cayetano hanggang sa sinabing no ceasefire between Senator Ping Lacson at Senator Alan Cayetano, online na rin ba ang sagutan ng mga mambabatas? Internet bilang battleground ng mga senador, patok o putok?
Start muna ako kay Sec Rex. What do you think? Patok o putok-putok?
Using Facebook to discuss things.
Yes.
Ako, personally, patok. Because whether we like it or not, the world is changing. And sometimes, and not sometimes, most of the time, people get their information online. But maybe ang caveat lang doon is to always know the whole context of things.
Ako, i-change ko to sa dalawang abogado natin. Yung online war between the senators and congressmen. Ikaw, sir.
Kung patok o putok.
Oo.
So, iba na yung question.
Oo, yeah. Kasi yung ano natin, sa impeach.
Gigitnain ko lang.
Okay.
Kasi normal naman mag-away yung mga senador. In fact, I would like to correct our headline na hindi naman bago ito. Kasi nung panahon nga ni Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago at si JPE,
Oh, sa floor.
Hindi, sa
Sa
Twitter.
TV.
Sa
Twitter, tsaka TV,
Kasi,
no?
Twitter na ba yun?
yes, because Miriam Defensor was one of the first few politicians to have a very strong online following.
Early adopter.
At sumasagot si JPE sa TV na nire-retweet ng mga tao.
Okay.
So that said, it would be too much of a disadvantage for the politicians if they were prohibited from using this. Kasi kung yung mga normal nga na tao nagagamit sila hindi ba pwede?
Okay. Attorney Jess.
Ako actually, middle ground. Because tama si Sec na ito na yung panahon ngayon, pero in the same way na si Senator Lacson, in my opinion, can use it to drive the news cycle correctly, no? Kasi meron siyang facts, meron siyang tamang nilalatag. You can also use it wrongly. Like si Senator Pia Cayetano, Kong Chel Jokno said one thing, but she twisted it and made it to appear another. She should apologize for that. She should actually inhibit for that. She should be punished for that in the ethics committee. So, middle ground because it's really how we use it, how the senators use it.
And you're a blogger yourself.
And I'm a digital native, of
Yeah.
course. So we have to use it responsibly.
And speaking of...
And I've never been, sorry Marichu, I've never been called out for fake news.
Okay.
Never.
Sinabi mo spliced. Ang sinabi mo, nag-file na ng complaint ang
Yes.
Tindig Pilipinas.
Yes.
Pero ako, I feel, mali yung hindi lang dapat ethics committee, dapat, di ba, sub judice, sa impeachment court.
Well, political process
Iba
kasi
kasi,
yan
iba
eh.
kasi.
So,
So walang mga ganon, sub judice.
Presiding Officer Chis Escudero, hello, call a friend.
Although meron silang nilagay yata sa rules, but please correct me if I'm wrong. I just heard before na may nilagay silang something about
Sub judice.
sub judice.
Yes.
But to be clear, the sub judice rule is for judicial processes.
Kaya nga, di ba, impeachment court, judicial senate, sui generis.
It's not purely a judicial process, and it's not governed entirely by the rules of court. And the rules of
Unless a
court.
majority of her peers find it distasteful and punish her, walang punishment. Unless the majority finds it. Ang i-clarify ko lang din, Mami Chu, hindi kasi na-realize ng iba. Yung pinost ni Senator Pia, what makes it more appalling for me is because she used a video of another page. Hindi niya sariling gawa yun. Why do I know that? Because if you look at the video na pinost niya, may watermark yun. Watermark na gawa siya ng ibang page. Tapos, in-upload lang niya sa page niya. So actually, hindi niya sinala ng maayos. Mali talaga pang propaganda yun because I know the other page where she got it from. It's really propagandistic. So bakit niya pinost yun?
May violation pa ng IPR. intellectual
Well,
property.
hindi naman nagre-reklamo yung kinunan eh.
Oh, yung CTTO, di ba?
Kumalat pa yung propaganda. Yung isang page, 100,000 views lang. Sa kanya, 5 million views.
Okay.
The disinformation is disinforming.
Senator tuloy. Attorney Jimmy. yung away naman ni
Appointed.
Senator ni Ping and Senator Cayetano yung sa ceasefire.
Oo. Anong tanong?
Sabi ni Ping, yung my foot. Sabi ni
ceasefire, my
Senator,
foot. No, but what's your question, Marichu?
dinideny ni Senator Alan, ano ba totoo? Kasi sinabi niya, iba ang narinig ni Senator Ping. That's why he reacted violently.
Kasi both camps naman, kung susundan ninyo yung kanilang balitaktakan, have been paraphrasing each other. I don't know if they've been misquoting each other. Pero hindi na natin matitigil yung bangayan na yan. Should they stop? Yes, absolutely. In my opinion, should. But can they stop? I doubt it.
Okay.
Why? As a final point, you have to remember that Senator Alan is already under threat. Legal threat.
Ang dami.
And therefore, yung mga statements niya kuminsan ngayon is the only way para baka maunahan niya and maybe dissuade the filing of those charges.
Buti na lang si Sec Rex,
Defensive siya.
walang kaaway online.
Ay, may online si Sec,
Meron
di
ba?
ba?
I'm
din
active online.
No, may kaaway ka ba online?
Wala.
Minomonitor ko yung mga DSWD activities
We
niya.
use it more for information campaign.
Friend to
Yes,
all,
oo.
enemy to none.
Yes.
More for information
Saka information.
Actually, yung DSWD hindi nangaaway. Nangyayakap kami ng tao. Ayan naman yung DSWD. Sa logo pa lang, heart na nga.
Wow.
Sa kulay red nga
Yung
kami.
mga SOCMED post mo, pino-forward ko sa reporter ko, bakit wala ka nitong story to? Yan ang value.
Bakit mahilig ka, Sec Rex, sa mga tito jokes? Doon sa mga mo,
Alam mo,
TikTok at saka yung iba mong
Alam mo,
videos.
para sa'yo siguro Tito Jokes, pero para sa akin hindi.
It's all
Meron ka
relative.
nakalaban.
It's all relative, yeah.
Okay, let's move on to headline number 3.
Headline number 3. Naloka na ba ang lahat sa Pax Silica? Sabi ng iba, makakapagbigay trabaho ito sa maraming Pilipino. Sabi naman ng mga kontra, may water contamination itong dala. Is the problem really too big? Pax Silica sa Pilipinas, patok o putok?
Unahin
Silica?
kita. Oh, Pax.
Ako,
Baka dyan, Abet,
ako patok pa rin. Kasi kanina lang in Thailand came up with they're going to do their own version. Ang tawagan nila Siam Silica. Because that's the wave of the future. Ang para sa akin lang, it's a golden opportunity. Baka maiwanan tayo. It's a golden opportunity pero kailangan paghandaan rin natin. Hindi pwede yung nagtayo pero walang pre-work. So kami sa DS, ang pre-work sa amin, investment in human capital.
Yes.
Hindi naman pwede kami lang yung mga tao na, yung mga kliyente namin hanggang construction lang. We should be able to ride that wave. If it's a wave towards AI, this mega economic complex, if it's a wave towards that direction, dapat higher added value jobs. And kung hindi natin armahan yung mga tao natin, gutom sila, hindi nakakapag-aral, edi hindi sila makakasakay. Diba? Baka ano na naman yung mahihirap naming kliyente, baka from the outside looking inside na naman, nakadungaw lang kami sa gate. So, there's a big task for us, patok, pero kailangan yung DSWD magtrabaho na. We make sure the investments to human capital is happening.
How would you reconcile yung human capital mo with the AI na finifear artificial intelligence might dislocate human capital?
No, there's always room for added value eh. Diba? Even sa business processing, takot na takot tayo na baka the way we know it, ma-phase out siya. But
Yes.
there are other niches in that AI world
That's progress.
for us. Correct.
That's progress.
We cannot stop the world from turning. Umiikot ang mundo. Kanina ko pa sinasabi yun eh. Hindi tayo pwedeng sabihin natin, we'll stay put. No matter how hard we fight it, I believe that the direction is to that point. All we can do now is to prepare. Make sure na ready tayo sumalo. And when you say tayo, yung taong bayan. Akin, it's the poor, the marginalized, the vulnerable. Dapat yung safety nets nandun. Dapat namumuhunan tayo sa mga kabataan ngayon. Dapat we're making sure na kung ano man yung malilikhang trabaho niyan, handa tayong sumalo dun.
Okay. Attorney Jimmy.
I have 2 points, no? Una sa lahat, yung Pax Silica, the reason why we should have at least a little concern, no? Is it's not a treaty.
Wait, patok-putok. Middle.
It's not a treaty because it does not have the strictures of a treaty. It does not have the protections of the Vienna Convention, and etc. So, hindi natin alam hanggang saan talaga ang ating mga karapatan dyan and what we expect from our partners, no? So, wala pa siyang legal category right now. Number 2, wala namang issue na dapat natin pasukin ng AI. It is the inevitable future, no? But will Pax Silica as an initiative and later on maybe as a treaty or an executive commitment, no? Will it limit our
Sovereignty.
partners? No, will it limit our partners? Will there be a restriction kung kanino lang tayo pwede makipag-deal with? Because if it goes to that, then it becomes a hegemonic tool. Hindi na siya business tool. Control siya, which is non-military but still a way of controlling us. As a final statement, go, aralin pa natin, pero at the end of the day, it must become a treaty.
Okay. Attorney Jess.
Iba-iba yung mga opinion ngayon dahil ako ay putok with qualifications,
Yes.
no? Pax Silica means peace and silica or silicon. Ang unang problema ko sa Pax Silica is they're bundling AI and silicon processing. Sa akin, that should be unbundled. I am no to AI data centers because that will require 3 gigawatts of energy, like millions and millions of gallons of water talaga. Like si DOE mismo, kapwa cabinet secretary ni Sec Rex is not really that sold on Pax Silica. Si DOE, Sec Sharon Garin. Doon naman sa silicon processing, we are the second biggest source of nickel ng Asia after Indonesia, no? And sa Indonesia, yung kanilang nickel na process na doon, they ban exports, pero China ang partner nila. Sa akin, okay naman na US ang partner in the sense of geopolitics, in the sense of business, in the sense of jobs, etc. So, mas gusto ko yun yung silicon processing. That could industrialize us
Yes.
like sa Taiwan. So, ang problema ko, parang may bundling na sana
Dapat separate.
separate kasi Pax Silica, nasa ng AI doon? Peace and silicon. Doon tayo sa silica, silicon.
Iba yung nasa isip kong silicon.
May A doon sa Pax, tapos may I sa Silica.
Tatanong ko kay Sec Rex, kasi sabi niya kanina, marami tayong mga unbanked and out not online. Paano tayo makakapag-participate dito sa
And that's why nga, this early we have to do our groundwork. Hindi pwede yung we have that vision, but we're not laying the groundworks this early. When you talk about Pax Silica kasi, although it's still in its rough stages, wala pa naman siyang detalye masyado, di ba?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wala pa siyang finer details. The concept is there.
Yeah.
And the dream is to come up with these new high-tech mega industrial hubs. The world is going to that direction, in my personal opinion.
Okay.
Diba? And the important thing there is, kung yan lilikha ng trabaho, again, ulitin ko, hindi pwede yung mahihirap, yung mga vulnerable, yung mga nasa laylayan ng mga kliyente namin, nakadungaw lang. Kailangan this early, we do our homework.
Okay.
Yun nga, like, sabi ko, banking them, investment in 4Ps again, because yan yung education and health side of it. Dapat ready tayo sumalo eh.
Okay. Tatanong ko kay Attorney Jimmy, naka-recover na ba si VP sa kanyang fax Silica?
Hindi ko alam, hindi ko siya nakakausap.
That's a silly question.
But but for me kasi, like I said, no, hanggang wala naman siyang parang legal category, no, na dapat pag-usapan, it doesn't require. I mean, it would be good kung alam na nating lahat more about it, no. Pero mas matindi, kunyari, ako, I still respect her. I still respect Lenny kahit di niya alam yung 40 times 4 dati. Kasi alam kong it was not a sign of lack of intelligence.
Okay.
Si BBM, hindi alam yung OSG. Noong unang panahon, okay lang din sa akin yun.
Pagbigyan natin
Kasi
sa Attorney.
Damay na lahat.
hindi, ang point ko, if we judge people on little faux pas, it's a wrong it's a wrong way to look at politicians.
Tinutokso lang kita eh.
Tao yan. No. Kasi it's a real issue. I'm not responding to you. I'm responding to the
netizens.
To the netizens.
Kay Sec, ang tanong ko, sa cabinet po ba, is the sentiment more pro-Pax Silica or more divided? Kasi nga, as I mentioned kanina, si DOE, alam ko medyo may concerns. May napag-usapan na ba ang Pax Silica sa isang cabinet meeting?
Actually, at this point in time, I think if it's the president's statement, it becomes our policy to
Yeah.
rally
Oo,
around.
syempre.
Diba?
Yeah, you have to follow
I'm
the
sure
president.
si Secretary Garin, I haven't spoken to her, has her reservations, but I'm sure she also has the answers to those reservations. Diba? It's our job as cabinet members
to make it work.
to hurdle the challenges.
Saka nasa zona eh.
Yes.
Diba? Like for
Nasa
instance,
zona eh.
diba, Attorney Jess, there's that issue on displacement of farmers and potential displacement of
Indigenous
farmers and
people.
IPs.
Yeah.
These are vulnerable sectors that we protect. So this early pa lang, we have to plot out, meron ba talaga o wala? And we make sure na may safety nets kung meron.
Yes,
Diba?
Yan.
It's our job to rally around the vision. It's
Okay.
not our job to say na mahirap gawin.
Foot soldier
Yeah.
talaga. Ang galing talaga ni Sec Rex.
Ayan ang mga pangako ng Pangulo. Itataga natin sa bato sa pagbabalik ng Politiko Talks. You're still watching Politiko Talks sa Bilyonaryo News Channel, sa Politiko Talks Facebook page at sa Abante Online. Ngayon po, punta na tayo sa politaktakan. Sec Rex, sa dinabi-dami ng sinabi sa SONA ni Pangulo, paano mo i-prioritize given the limited budget that we have, limited time, less than 2 years?
Actually, kasi yung SONA naman, it's not just forward-looking, but it's also reporting eh.
Yeah.
Like yung disaster response namin, nakalatag na yon. It's just a matter of expanding. You guys can fact-check me on this. Ngayon, pag may sakuna, ang picture na next makita nyo, those boxes that we give out.
Yes.
Nandiyan na siya eh.
The brown with the logo of DSWD.
Yes, it's become the symbol of disaster response of government. So ang point ko doon, it's just a matter of building on what we've already started. When I joined the cabinet, yan ang ginawa na namin at kinareer namin. Pangalawa, yung timely, efficient distribution of assistance, for instance. Yung ngayon, uplift assistance and kunento. Nandiyan na rin yung systems and processes eh. It's just a matter of us making sure na ginagamit namin that we don't deviate from it.
Actually, ang point ko nga didiretsuhin na kita. Dahil less than 2 years, malapit na eleksyon. Course through nyo sa mga LGUs. Alam mo naman mga LGUs, may mga ambisyon din yan, mga re-electionists at new upcoming mga politiko. And of course, we cannot prevent or yung mga cabinet members, senators, congressmen to take advantage of this ayuda. So how do you protect ayuda?
One, first of all, Marichu, we don't course it through LGUs.
Ay,
Hindi kami. Kami, kaya nga may kahero, di ba, narinig mo kanina, I explained the process na may paymaster kami. Ang DSWD, the only time we will course it through an LGU pag wala kaming office doon. Na sobrang layo. 3 piraso lang kunwari yung empleyado namin doon.
Gida.
Mission impossible yun. But other than that, in major cities, in most municipalities, we have a presence. The only our relationship with the LGU is more on logistics. Aminado kami, wala kaming ganung karaming silya, basketball court, wala naman kami niyan. But we coordinate with them, pero the new guidelines, kami talaga may hawak ng pera. We will not do the payouts pag hindi kami komportable.
How is the anti-EPAL memo, Sec? Kasi di ba parang yan yung ano sa DSWD no, na bawal sumama ang mga politiko sa AYIX, AKAP, TUPAD, etc.
Attorney Jess, ako lagi ko to sinasabi we also have to define clearly and put that memo in context. Pag regular course of AIX, hindi talaga kami magpe-pay out pag nandyan sila. Wala ring mga tarpaulin nila, walang mga any branding.
Okay.
Pero itong mga emergency assistance, minsan they have to check on us kasi tinatawag kami sa Congress on rollout.
What do you mean? Like as an oversight?
Yes, in performance of their duty. Ibig sabihin, pumunta sila doon, sumilip, hindi naman nagsalita, hindi na gano'n.
Okay.
Nagtinignan lang. Maayos ba yung...
But can you stop them if they try to speak? That's a precarious
Hindi na kami
position.
nagbibigay ng mic eh. Hindi na kami naglalagay ng mic para tapos
Kung may dala siyang megaphone.
Hindi namin... I don't think they'll go that far.
Paano po yung mga mayor? Usually karaniwan, mayor nandun.
Okay. Yung mayors, ba't sila pumupunta? Because they organize the logistics and they make sure the peace and order, di ba, yung maayos.
Yeah.
Again, ulitin ko yung regular programs namin, hindi talaga pwede. Pero etong energy emergency, nagmamadali kasi kami to roll it out. So we really have to rely on the mayors in performance of their duty, na mayor, pahingi naman ng pulis, patingin naman kasi ang daming tao doon, hindi kami komportable. Or mayor, pahingi naman ng air coolers nung summer kasi ang init, baka nahihimatay. Mayor, baka pwede naman may mga silya para naman sa
may
mga
role
senior.
sila to play.
May role.
For
And then
being
yung
there.
congressmen, minsan nakikita nyo sila doon, pero sumisilip sila kasi maya pinapatawag ako sa Congress para sabihin sa akin na, mali yung ginawa mo dito, nagkagulo dito, bakit? Or maayos yung ginawa nyo dito. Maybe that's in performance of their duty as oversight namin dahil pera to that will come to a play pagdating ng budget season.
I hate to push, pero hindi ba pang staff yung mag-observe ng payout?
Ako, Attorney Jimmy, I've been mayor and I've been both congressman.
3 terms.
You prefer the
Ako being
personal.
hands-on. Even up to now, there are things that people think that isn't the job of the secretary na iutos ko na kay Yusek yan, but that's how I am. as a
Like what?
public-
Like
For
what? Yung hindi mo
instance.
inuutos sa USEC na. Ako na, ikaw na.
Talking to directors and line staff. Diba? Very hierarchical ang mga department.
Yes.
Si line director, ibibigay muna kay ASEC. Si ASEC, ibibigay kay USEC. Si USEC,
Bureaucratic.
Parang you cannot go
Red
to the nitty-gritty of a program design. But kami, I'm a mayor and dala ko yung ugali ko, para matapos natin na sa isang lamesa, tatayo na lang tayo, may decision na tayo.
Okay.
And di ba, parang
That's laudable.
there's some
That's laudable.
department talaga na very matagal yung turnaround. Kami flat eh.
Didiretsuhin kita, Sec, Kasi ikaw, you come from a political dynasty. Your four brothers, Senate
Diretso
President
talaga.
Rex Gatchalian, Cabinet Secretary, DSWD Rex, Congressman Kenneth,
Yep.
and Mayor Gatchalian.
Yeah.
So, how would you try to protect the DSWD from being, sasabihin, akusa ka na, parang sa mga Gatchalian.
Ako, simple na lang. Very simple. Si Sherwin, wala yung AX since time immemorial.
Oh?
Meaning he doesn't refer. Wala naman sila lahat. Pero di ba we get referrals. Di ba? Pakasuyo, wala yung referral sa amin.
Okay.
Kasi nga, from day one, hindi kami, parang we would try to keep that separation.
Arm's length.
To the same degree, tawagan namin the China Wall eh.
China.
Chinese wall, Chinese wall.
The Chinese Wall.
That's an old saying in Chinese wall.
Okay.
And ako, to the same degree, wala akong kay na tanungin siya tungkol sa trabaho ng Senado. Para pag daunting ako sa Senado, I'm treated just like any other cabinet member where I'm grilled, I'm asked to defend,
Yeah,
and
budget
I'm asked
hearing,
to answer.
ganun.
Yes.
Nag-isa ka na ba ng
Oo.
kapatid mo?
Oo. Sa budget hearing, oo. That's why I come prepared.
Nag-practice ba kayo? Bago
Hindi,
ba?
bawal yun sa kanya eh. Bawal sa kanya yun eh.
Kay Mayor.
Ay, talaga hindi ako I don't download anything to Valenzuela city government. None. But syempre, meron rin kliyente hindi ka naman, ang pangit naman na hindi namin i-entertain ng Valenzuelano dahil secretaries ng Valenzuela.
That would
diba?
be reverse
Pero hindi
discrimination.
kami dumadaan sa local government ng Valenzuela whatsoever.
Si Congressman,
Congressman Kenneth refers. Pag may lumapit sa papasa niya sa amin. It's up to us to say yes or no.
yes.
Diba?
So, anong stand mo sa political dynasty?
Ako, hipokrito na ako pag sinabi ko sa iyo, Marichu, na I'm
I appreciate
against it.
you.
Diba?
I appreciate you.
Ako, very simple.
Very honest.
Personally, I like the version ng House. Diyan, hindi kami magkatugma ni Sherwin. I'm not supposed to make political statements. I'm not a policy maker. But, kasi ako, I believe that you can do the checks and balance as long as yung trabaho natin hindi na sa same realm. Diba? For instance, yung sa House version, parang it's now frowned upon working within the same LGU, like the mayor and the vice mayor, or a councilor and the mayor and the vice mayor. Dapat separate levels of power. So in sense, the congressman really doesn't have anything to do with the city hall, to be honest. Mabubuhay ang kongresista nang hindi dumadating doon. So I think that's okay, diba? To the same degree na, diba sa version nata ng House, bawal rin yung national. So I also agree kasi nga, it's too saturation naman. I believe the House version is something that I like.
I have a very tough question. Sabi mo, Sec, hindi ka nakikialam kaya Senate President Sherwin Gatchalian and vice versa. Pero, boto ka ba sa Winry?
Sabi niya, nag-post ata ng picture, tapos sabi
Yes.
niya, ang cute naman, diba? So, kung doon sa niligaya, then by all means.
Ayun!
Ito lang, pasingit lang. Kanino ka closest na sibling? I'm very curious.
I'd like to think to all of them, kasi maliliit lang naman yung agwat namin. Pero dahil kami ni Sherwin yung nauna, sorry, I call him Sherwin
Yeah.
I know I should call him Senate President, pero it's still, hindi pa rin
Kuya mo
lumalabas.
siya, kuya mo siya.
Hindi pa rin lumalabas sa bibig ko yung gano'n eh.
Pero walang kuya-kuya.
Wala. Sa amin ni Sherwin, kasi kami na unang pumasok sa public service.
Yes.
It was always been the two of
So, a
us.
lot in common, a lot to talk about.
Lalo na, we shared the local realm for quite some
Mayor,
time. I was mayor as congressman. Halos ang politika namin the same.
Okay.
Itong dalawang ang turn natin.
So, wait lang basta boto sa Winry.
Of course.
Ang aking impression.
Of course, of course.
Anyway, ano masasabi niyo doon sa SONA na sinabi ni Pangulo? In English, tinagalog na yung, in English ba yung kay Pangulong Estrada na walang kamag-anak, walang
Variation.
Although hindi that
It's a
mention the
paraphrase.
speaker na first cousin niya. Yun na naman tinumbok niya. Mukhang nakangiti ka, sir.
No, I'm giving it a lot of consideration kasi gusto ko maniwala eh. Gusto ko talaga. Gusto ko. Pero I hope you understand. Ayoko, the only political thing I did today was to wear a green suit, a pink shirt, and red socks.
Wow!
So, hindi ako politiko ngayon, ha? Pero please look at it from my point of view na sasabihin niya, hindi ako presidente, tapos pagdating sa ombudsman, kakasuhan yung 18 Marines, itinapo, isinantabi yung affidavit ng 18 Marines. So, hindi ko malaman, paano ko kaya paniniwalaan na talagang magiging impartial yung investigation, na lahat bubuksan, kung dun sa prosec level, it feels, para sa akin lang, parang minanoobra. I'm very sorry, alam ko maraming magagalit. So that's how I feel.
Attorney Jess.
O hindi patok or putok. Sa akin, syempre, patok.
Hindi na patok.
Hindi ako pangulo. Hindi ako pangulo ng aking pamilya. Hindi ako pangulo ng aking mga kaibigan. Pangulo ako ng Republika ng Pilipinas. Wow, di ba? Kahit variation siya or paraphrase kay Erap, I think he had to say that. And I think that's still commendable. Of course, may point si Atty. Jimmy, although I would
Thank you.
I would like to tell him na ginamit ng ombudsman yung 8 Marines doon sa preliminary investigation
Pero yung affidavit
ni
nila parang
SMR.
i-disregard na daw.
Yung 18 as a whole.
Oo, yung walo lang.
Tsaka may mga cyber libel cases sila. Tsaka
Nag-post sila ng bail.
Pero
Nag-post ng
kakasuhan
bail
sila.
kanina.
I think all
Perjury, cyber libel, etc.
Huwag na,
So, diba?
Huwag ka na makalala, nag-post sila ng bail kanina.
Pero may PI naman, may preliminary investigation naman kay SMR and 8 Marines ang ginamit doon.
Oy, thank you ha. Salamat ha.
Teka, mabalik tayo kay Sec Rex.
Bakit ka sa akin nagpapasalamat? Huwag sa akin.
Baka
Hindi, it's throwing us a bone eh. But
Okay.
anyway.
Si Sec Rex muna. Napuri ni Pangulong Marcos sa SONA yung how you handle the DSWD na reach ang kanyang intended beneficiaries.
Yeah.
Pero bisan, di ba, kasama mo si First Lady Marcos sa pagbibigay ng mga ayuda. How do you go about it? Kasi may mga in-endorse na siya na mga possible candidates. Parang nagkaroon na kulayan.
Well, first, madalang kami magkita ng First Lady. Even
Okay.
you can check my Facebook account.
Yes.
Pagka ang madalas kasama ko sa bigayan ng tulong pinansyal ay ang ating Pangulo.
Yes.
Or by myself.
Yes.
The First Lady doesn't interfere with DSWD affairs. But again, ako hindi ko kasi alam yung statements. Basta ako, ang bilin sa akin ng Pangulo, we work as if every day was the last day of our in office. Para talagang lubos na lubos. 2 years of very good time to help so many people.
Napagalitan ka na ba ng Pangulo, Sec? Tough questions. Yung, parang in private or in closed door, yung parang na-remind ka ni Pangulo, ano naman,
The
Rex
President
naman.
guides all the time, so he always guides. Ako naman, I take everything as guidance, whether it's a strongly worded guidance, it's
Reprimand, advice.
Basta akin, guidance lahat yun, gawin mo na lang ng gawin.
Ayos.
Isa-segue na natin kay Sec Rex. Pero itanong na pero meron ka bang plano sa 2028?
Oy, natanong ko
Alam
na
nyo,
yan.
ako, I would
I'm
always
sorry.
say, and you can ask people from Valenzuela, noon pa. I'd like to think kasi, when you're given a position, you just do your job, you do it well, the rest will follow. Favorite line ko yan.
Parang kay GMA yan ah.
OA kasi, pagka meron ka talagang tapos sabihin mo ngayon, bukas lahat na lang ng galaw ko, sasabihin nila, kasi may plano yan.
Yeah.
Palagay ko walang naniniwala sa sinasabi ko. Di ba? May na rin tayo dito. Parang lahat kayo siguro yung air bubble yung tatlo.
Naniniwala naman
Yung
ako.
air bubble yung tatlo, imposible.
Mga
Kabinete
90%
siya,
naniniwala
di ba?
ako.
Thank you.
But so far, you're very honest. So,
Diba?
naniniwala ko.
O yun. So akin, thank you for believing. Basta ako, I enjoy what I do. The President has so much more things that he wants us to finish. So 2 years, trabaho muna. Do your best, the rest will follow.
Alam mo, father na si Father William, nagko-complain na eh. Sabi na, hindi ko ma-imbitahan si Secretary 3 to 4 umaga, nasa aeroplano na. Tapos kanina na-interview siya yung kanyang sa spokes, si Asik Dumlao.
Oh.
Natanong sa love life. Wala ka daw love life, Sec.
Not since I joined the department.
Wala kang winry? Wala kang hashtag?
Well, again, sabi nga ni Senwin ata yan, or ni, Shata nagsabi na it's organic. It'll happen if it happens.
Don't panic. It's organic.
Di ba? It will happen if it will happen. Di ba?
That's love.
Tsaka sabi nga ni, I think Senate President Sherwin, naikwento niya, they never talk politics pagdating sa bahay.
Kasi nagtatalo kami.
Ganun ha?
Yung dynasty issue, di ba? He has a different take on it. I have a different take on
Oh
it.
yeah, okay.
What's his take? A
I think
stricter version.
The Senate version na the
4
Congress
degrees.
is and yung levers of power nila, iba yung definition nila. The congressmen, I think, are lumped together with local officials.
Yeah.
So, dun pa lang nagtatalo na kami kasi iba naman dato yun eh. Oo, locally elected, pero na district level, not naman na city level.
Okay. Pero natupad na ba yung 20 pesos na kilo ng bigas?
Yes. Alam mo, Marichu, I will tell you this point blank. Yung mga kliyente kasi namin, yung mga beneficiary namin, sila rin yung bumibili eh. Like yesterday, and I have a full reel that will come out soon, kumain ako dun sa kusina namin sa Cebu, sa Walang Gutom Kitchen.
Walang gutom.
Yeah, oo.
So normally, habit namin yan, upo ako kasama ng beneficiaryo, makipagkwentuhan ako. Kunento nung matanda na bukod sa kumakain siya sa kitchen, which nakakatipid na siya, so yung natitira raw niya, binibili niya ng gamot, nakakabili rin sila ng 20 pesos na bigas kasi part siya ng vulnerable sectors na kasama. So syempre, may limit lang nga, 30 kilos ata Kasi hindi
Pero
naman
saan to?
mauubos.
Saan to? I mean, with all due respect, ba't hindi natin nakikita? Ang alam ko, yung nangyari sa Bacolod before, was heavily subsidized by the local government. I think naglabas sila ng 8 million or something.
Well,
But
sabi
is this a sustainable price?
I think from sa pagkukwentuhan namin I'm no expert in agriculture.
Yes.
And you might think that syempre I'm taking the government position.
Yeah, no, I just want to know where it is. The
ako, like
20
that, yun
pesos.
sa Cebu, nasa pier area siya. Kasi nandun yung ano namin. Kwento talaga
Yung
yan.
bilihan.
Kwento ng matanda, unaided. Sabi niya, bukod ho dito sa programa ng gutom, doon din nakakabili kami.
Yeah.
So nakakatipid ho kami. He's part of the vulnerable sectors na pwede mag-avail.
Yeah, I question that with respect.
Maliban sa 20 pesos na bigas, how do you fund and how do you sustain the walang gutom kitchen? Kasi sabi nyo, you want to make 12 more before the term of the president ends.
Two things. It's a soup kitchen, but it's also a food bank. May batas tayong food bank na matagal na walang nagpapatupad. So yung food wastage, tinatapon lang.
Okay.
So kami, we encourage donations and we have nutritionists to check and we have standards. So the sustainability there, we get tons of donations. Ang dami. Pero syempre, naglalabas rin tayo from our operating funds. And it's
Okay.
not very expensive kasi if you go sa Gipsaka, you buy directly from the farmers.
Yes.
It's negotiated at ang bababa ng presyo. Hindi sa binabarat natin yung farmers, pero wala na kasing middleman.
Oh, last question ko sa attorneys natin. Sabi ni BP Sara, waste of time yung SONA. Ikaw muna, attorney.
Ay, wag na natin lagyan masyado ng ano yun. Kasi, syempre, they're political rivals. Wala na namang bago dyan, no? So,
Wala naman daw silang personal feud ni Pangulo eh. Kaya lang mahina siya, weak leader siya, sabi niya.
Hindi. Siguro, if we are to look at it from an objective point of view lang, maraming sectors naman, hindi lang si Ma'am Sara, ang umangal sa SONA. May mga hindi na pag-usapan, legislated wage hike, tapos biglang, you have to look at it from the perspective na hindi mo pag-uusapan yung wage hike, biglang
Na-TRO na nga eh.
Oo, tapos biglang may racket, tapos may inoki mushroom. So, syempre, sa sectors na nai-ignore, they get offended.
Ikaw, attorney Jess.
Well, syempre ako hindi ako vice president, so it's not a waste of time for me. Nakarinig ako ng systems losses, alisin yun. Nakarinig ako ng nuclear energy, which I don't necessarily agree with, pero magandang pag-usapan. Yung Pax Silica, hindi din ako agree doon, pero magandang pag-usapan kasi gusto ko yung isa doon. So, sa akin, it's not a waste of time.
Okay. On that note, let's go to our political quickies. Na po tayo dito sa Politiko Talks. Sec Rex, explain ko lang sa'yo. Political quickies is what you political outlook
Forecast.
for the 24
Predictions.
hours, for the next 2 days, for the next week, for the whole month. Ano po ang inyong
Even for the
political...
DSWD, baka may
Yeah.
gusto
Ako,
kang...
two things. One, the cut-through for government programs kami. Pag nag-storytell kami, halos hindi na napipick up kasi nga everybody's watching the impeachment. And there's so many
The news
good
cycle.
work. There's so many good work for government na pwede mangyari, like tong Uplift Assistant. Pero aminado kami, natatabunan kami. So ang outlook ko, patuloy pa rin kaming matatabunan.
Okay. Ay, Attorney Jess,
Oh.
yung na-predict mong na-release na si former Senator Bong Revilla.
Na-predict ko ba yun?
Hindi, na-predict mo.
Nalungkot nga ako eh.
Hindi.
No
Na-predict mo
offense.
yung ma-imprison, yung mga I mean, yeah.
BJMP, hindi pa. Wala pa yung P eh. Pero ang aking prediction naman for next week and the 2 weeks to come, yung mga SEC cases daw against certain ultra-bilyonaryo politicos may
So, sila Villar.
flood out. When it rains, it pours. Hindi lang ultra-bilyonaryo politicos. Plural.
Kanina na nang sino ba Sandigan na pina-explain si Batangas Congressman Leviste and si Senator Legarda
Sabi nga ni VP
10
Sara,
billion.
sabi nga ni VP Sara, I cannot comment on that.
Yung 10 billion ghost electricity, pina-explain sa kanila. NBI yata yun.
Ikaw nagsabi nun.
Hindi, yun ang story tomorrow.
Next week natin pag-uusapan.
Yes.
Oh.
Attorney,
Gusto
Jimmy.
ko lang muna i-point out na yung prediction ko dati, nagkatotoo. Bihira lang naman ako magganito, no? Na yung sinabi
one?
kong hindi magiging ganun ka-exciting yung susunod na impeachment week, totoong nangyari. Kasi ang mga nakita natin, ay mga bank managers, I think they were expecting na magkakaroon sila ng Clarissa Ocampo, no? Katulad nung parang nung dating impeachment. Pero instead, there were non-issues. In the future, itong week na to, I still think it will be less exciting on the impeachment side. Pero yung mga banggaan po ng mga senador, magpapatuloy.
Okay. On that note, we would like to thank
Thank you,
Rex
thank you for a
joining us
fun
Such
Friday
a pleasure.
night.
Ang galing nito ni DSWD Sec.
We hope to invite you again.
Sa ulitin.
Attorney Jimmy Bondo,
Thank you.
EVP ng
Maraming
LPDP
salamat.
Laban.
Here to serve.
Attorney Jess
Simpleng
Falcis,
kagawad.
Simpleng kagawad. Ito po naman po si Marichu Villanueva, inyong fact checker. May say ka sa politika dito sa Politiko Talks.